everyone. In this mini video, we're going to be talking about photosynthesis and cellular respiration. We're going to define what photosynthesis is and what the chemical formula is. We're also going to define what cellular respiration is, and what the chemical formula of that is, and we're going to be looking at how they are related to one another. Now, as we can see from our cute, adorable image that we have right here, this is jokingly showing photosynthesis, because when we're looking at photosynthesis, it is a chemical reaction that is done primarily by all living organisms in the plant kingdom, so aka plants, but also done by some photosynthetic bacteria and some photosynthetic algae. And this, as the name sounds, requires light, so that's where your photo part is, and it is a chemical reaction that produces glucose. So that's why it is called photosynthesis. So let's get into the meat on what photosynthesis is. So if we're looking at the chemical equation of photosynthesis, photosynthesis requires energy, and this energy is in the form of light, mixed in with carbon dioxide plus water. And as a result, it is going to form oxygen and glucose. And glucose, again, is pretty much the energy packet that all animals require as a form of energy. So this is glucose. So if we're looking at our image diagram, we can see that our inputs, so what are the, so if we're looking at inputs, another way that we can think about it is our reactants. So our reactants to photosynthesis is light energy, so radiant / light energy. And this light energy comes primarily from the sun, requires carbon dioxide gas, and requires water, in this case in liquid form. And the outputs, so our products, are glucose, which is basically a type of simple sugar. And if we're looking at our chemical formula for glucose, 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens, and 6 oxygens, and oxygen gas. Right? This is why if we're looking at the carbon cycle, photosynthesis is a key chemical reaction that removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Now, if I'm looking at the above chemical equation, I can see that it is not balanced, right? Because I can tell on my reactant side, I have 1 carbon, and on my product side, I have only 6 carbons. So the balanced chemical equation is that you need 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water, and it produces 6 molecules of oxygen gas and 1 molecule of glucose. And if we're looking at our balancing quickly, we can see 6 carbon dioxide, so 6 carbons on our reactant side, 6 carbons on our product side in glucose. If we're looking at our water, so if we have 6 molecules of water, 6 times 2 is 12 hydrogens, and I see 12 hydrogens in glucose. And if we're looking at our total oxygens, so we have 6 oxygens in the water, and we have 12 oxygens in the carbon dioxide, giving us a total of 18 oxygens. And if we're looking at on our product side, 6 times 2 is 12 in the oxygen gas that we make here, and then 6 in our glucose, giving us our total of 18. So again, if we're looking at photosynthesis, it is a chemical reaction which is primarily done by all organisms in the plant kingdom, and certain photosynthetic bacteria and algae where it takes energy from the sun, it takes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it takes water in liquid form, and it produces oxygen gas and sugar, glucose. Now, cellular respiration, so this is what we're looking at right now, is the chemical reaction where glucose in the presence of oxygen is burned, and in this burning reaction, it releases energy, usually thermal energy, releases carbon dioxide, and releases water vapor. Now we can see also this is not a balanced equation, so if we quickly balance it, we have 6, 6, and 6. So if we're looking at our inputs, so our, again, reactants, I need glucose. And where do animals get this glucose from? Well, they get it from what they eat. So they get it from plants. They get it from other animals. I require oxygen. And we get this from the atmosphere. And our outputs, so our products, first and foremost is energy for the organism to function, carbon dioxide, which is exhaled out, and water vapor, which is exhaled out. Now, you're probably thinking, well, the inputs and outputs of cellular respiration sound oddly familiar. And they do because photosynthesis and cellular respiration are opposite chemical reactions. So that in cellular respiration, the glucose that was made in photosynthesis is consumed, and we're releasing energy. And this is actually basically a combustion reaction, whereas photosynthesis is creating the glucose, and it's using light energy from the sun to do this. And this is pretty much what allowed for, the entire animal kingdom to become into being. Because if we're looking at the basic requirements to be considered an animal, is that you eat others for a source of energy. And by others, it can be other plants, it can be other animals, but ultimately we consume glucose. And where is this glucose coming from? It is coming from plants. And where are the plants getting the energy to produce this glucose? They're getting the energy from the sun. So, to recap, photosynthesis, take energy from the sun to make glucose. Cellular respiration, take glucose and burn it to get thermal energy to function. So, I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great day.